The tragic kidnapping and miraculous return of Pooja Gaud, a story of resilience and hope. After 9 long years, 16-year-old Pooja Gaud is finally able to rest her head on her mother's lap. Her story is one of pain, resilience, and ultimate triumph. Kidnapped as a child and subjected to years of abuse and forced labor, her escape and return home is nothing short of miraculous. Pooja Gaud was born into a lower-middle-class family in Mumbai. She lived with her 2 brothers and parents in a small house in a suburban slum area. Despite financial hardships, her family prioritized her education and well-being. She was a bright, cheerful, and talkative child who loved playing with her friends in the narrow lanes of her neighborhood. Her mother describes her as a curious and affectionate girl who always had a big smile on her face. Pooja enjoyed attending school, where she was known for her enthusiasm in class. She loved drawing and was particularly fond of making colorful sketches of nature. Her favorite food was homemade dal rice, and she adored Bollywood songs, often humming them on her way to school. She was deeply attached to her mother and would always wait eagerly for her to return home from work so she could tell her about her day. It was the morning of January 22, 2013, a chilly winter day in Mumbai. Pooja, wearing her blue and white school uniform with neatly tied plaits, left home with her elder brother, as she did every morning. The sky was still a soft shade of gray as the siblings hurried to reach school on time. Their school bag straps weighed heavy on their small shoulders, and the sound of their hurried footsteps echoed in the narrow lanes. A minor argument erupted between them over a trivial matter. Frustrated, her brother rushed into the school building, leaving Pooja outside, upset and unsure whether to follow him immediately. This brief moment of hesitation was all it took for fate to take a cruel turn. As Pooja stood alone, wiping her teary eyes, a middle-aged couple approached her. The man, Harry D'Souza, wore a checkered shirt and jeans, while his wife, Soni, dressed in a green sari, smiled warmly at her. Their voices were soothing, almost hypnotic. "Why are you crying, beta?" Soni asked, kneeling down to Pooja's level. "Come with us, we will buy you ice cream." The mention of ice cream melted away her sadness. She hesitated for a second but, lured by the promise of a sweet treat, she walked away with them, unaware that she would not see her home for the next 9 years. Back at home, when Pooja did not return from school, panic set in. Her mother, Pooja Gaud, ran from street to street, calling out her daughter's name. The family filed a missing person report, pasted posters around the neighborhood, and even sought help from the police and local community. Days turned into months, then years, with no sign of Pooja. The pain of not knowing where her daughter was became an unbearable burden for Poonam. The kidnappers first took Pooja to Goa, then later to Karnataka. Each time she cried or asked for her mother, they silenced her with threats. She was initially allowed to attend school, where she wore a second-hand uniform that never quite fit her right. But when the couple had a child of their own, everything changed. Pooja was pulled out of school, forced to become a full-time domestic helper, and moved back to Mumbai, ironically, just a few kilometers from her own home. Her daily life became a nightmare. She woke up before sunrise to clean, cook, and take care of the baby. Any mistakes were met with harsh punishments. She was beaten with belts, kicked, and punched. One particularly horrifying night, after spilling a glass of milk, she was thrashed with a rolling pin until her back bled. "I would look at the stars through the window at night and wonder if my mother was looking at the same sky," she later recalled. Despite being close to home, she could not escape. She was unfamiliar with the roads, constantly watched, and had no money or phone. One fateful night, years later, Pooja managed to get hold of a mobile phone while her captors were asleep. Her hands trembled as she typed her name into YouTube. What she saw left her speechless: videos, missing posters, and people still looking for her. Tears streamed down her face as she realized that her mother had never given up on her. It took 7 months for her to gather the courage to seek help. She confided in Pramila Devendra, a domestic worker at the house where Pooja worked as a babysitter. "Auntie, I need help," she whispered one day. "I was kidnapped years ago." Ms. Devendra, shocked but determined, immediately took action. She found a phone number on one of the old missing posters and called Rafiq, a neighbor of Pooja's mother. A video call was arranged, and the moment Poonam saw her daughter, she knew it was her. She asked to see a small birthmark that only she knew existed. When she saw it, she broke down in tears. With Ms. Devendra's help, Pooja, accompanied by her family, went to the police station. She described every painful detail of her captivity, including the exact address where she had been held. The police wasted no time. That same night, they raided the house and arrested Harry D'Souza. His wife managed to escape, but police launched a manhunt to find her. Charges of kidnapping, child abuse, physical violence, and violations of child labor laws were filed against them. The reunion with her mother was bittersweet. Pooja was home, but the years of separation had left deep scars. Her father had passed away from cancer just 4 months before her return. The small home she once knew felt different, emptier. Her mother, now the sole breadwinner, worked long hours selling snacks at a railway station. They struggled financially, but their love for each other remained their greatest strength. Pooja found herself caught between two worlds, one where she wanted to reclaim her childhood and another where she felt the need to support her family. She wanted to study, to learn, but the trauma haunted her. "I have nightmares. I wake up, scared, thinking I am still trapped," she admitted. For her safety, she rarely stepped out alone. Every time she left home, a family member accompanied her, afraid that something terrible might happen again. Pooja's story is a chilling reminder of how vulnerable children can be. It has sparked debates on missing child investigations and child safety measures. The role of social media in her rescue highlights the importance of technology in tracking missing persons. Ms. Devendra, the woman who helped Pooja escape, hopes that people will be more vigilant. Every mother should help a child coming to her for help. We might not be their biological mothers, but we are still mothers. Pooja Gaud's story is one of resilience, courage, and hope. Though she lost 9 years of her life, she has a future ahead of her. Her strength and determination inspire many, proving that even in the darkest of times, miracles can happen. For families of missing children, her story is a beacon of hope. For society, it serves as a crucial lesson: every small act of awareness can save a life. Vigilance, compassion, and never giving up, these are the pillars that helped bring Pooja home. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content.